Listen, I don't, this fool can't come to black people and tell us to vote for Kamala Harris simply based upon skin color. Here's the truth, Barack Obama. Here's the truth. Here's what black men want to do. They want to make sure, we want to make sure that we can give our children a life that your mother and that your grandmother gave you. We want to make sure that we can give our children the life that Kamala Harris's parents gave her. Both of you fake phonies that come from a lineage of slave owners trying to condescendingly speak to black men. You should be ashamed of your freaking selves. You're a disgrace. You're disgusting to me. Both of you are. Why don't you tell black people you guys can achieve what we achieve if you put your head down, if you strive hard, if you have some goals, if you work for those goals, if you get around the wrong people and get around the right people. You can be a success in America. That's what you should be telling black men, you punk. I'm sorry. I cannot stand. It's funny because I know there's a lot of black liberals that cannot stand black conservatives. Listen, I love black Democrats, but what I can't stand are fake blacks like this fool that will go around and condescend to Republicans and even black Democrat voters and pretend like they're doing something for them, pretend like they've lived another life. Gabe, do you have that video of how Kamala Harris grew up? Kamala Harris goes around. If you do, just scroll it across the screen. Kamala Harris goes around pretending like she grew up in the hood. These fools didn't grow up like you. And now I don't mind that. Frankly, I don't mind that if you don't sit here and lie to me. I have no animus for somebody that grew up with more money than I did. I'd love to be able to live the lifestyles that they live. That's Kamala Harris's hood in Montreal. You guys see this? That's her hood. These people just lie to you. That's not middle class. That is rich. That's not even upper middle class. Her parents were PhDs, doctorates. They taught at Stanford University, her dad. Her mother was a cancer researcher. That ain't middle class money, people. And they're trying to guilt shame black men. Man, screw you guys. I'm so tired of this. Black people, if you fall for this crap, it's your own fault. This fool grew up rich. Again, no problem with it. Raised by white liberal elites. No problem with it. Attended the best schools. No problem with it. But don't tell me I should vote for Kamala Harris. That's an absolute disaster when all I want to do is get ahead. Do I have the right to get ahead like you, Barack Obama? Should black people want to get ahead like you? Because if black people want to get ahead like Barack Obama, you know what you should do? You shouldn't listen to Barack Obama. You should vote differently. And you have a clear-cut choice. You have somebody in Trump, whether you like him or not. If you're talking about the economy, you have somebody in Trump that doubled the GDP of Barack Obama. Barack Obama's GDP only grew to 2%. Again, we called it a managed decline during his era. Trump soared all the way to 4.8%, more than doubling Barack Obama's job growth numbers. All right. Let's move on. What else do we got here? Let me go through the video clips. Forgive me. I had to sound off on those because it was just absolutely frustrating me. And I'm sorry, Gabe. Now I'm going back to the cut sheet because there's more that I wanted to respond to real quickly here. So let's go down the line. Poor favor. Oh, actually, we'll bring that up in another segment. Before. Okay, I apologize. So it turns out. Let's do this. This is video clip number 6. Because the left wants you to believe, Kamala Harris wants you to believe that she and Joe Biden have done something great. No, the latest job numbers or the inflation report is absolutely abysmal over the past 12 months. Let's go ahead and roll that, por favor, Gabe, cut number 6.
Then there's today's CPI report, which showed very sticky inflation. Over the past 12 months, the top line CPI is up 2.4%. Now, that's 20% higher than the Fed's 2% target. Then you go under the hood, the so-called core inflation was 3.3% year on year, which is actually 65% above the Fed's 2% target. And while the Kamala Harris campaign blasted J.D. Vance for suggesting a dozen eggs cost $4 now, because they really were only $3.20 back in August, now it's still more than double from the Trump years. And meanwhile, John Carney reports that Vance was actually closer to the target than his critics, because inside the CPI report, eggs jumped 10%, are up 39.6% over the past year, and the average price of eggs is now $3.82 right now.
Okay. So the cost of living under the Biden-Harris administration is absolutely abysmal. Middle-class people are suffering. Poorer people are suffering more. But the people that are not impacted by this are the people that Barack Obama and Kamala Harris hang around with. You know, the donor class that are fundamentally trying to transform America. The reason why Obama is campaigning, in my opinion, for Kamala Harris is because he does not want to let go of his legacy. Trump has the ability to absolutely destroy Barack Obama's legacy. Everybody wants to believe that he was a good president. He was one of the worst presidents in United States history, easily in the top 5, maybe top 10, but I suspect easily in the top 5. He was not a great president by any stretch of the imagination, but he got a fawning press simply because he was black. In 2010, this fool lost he lost virtually every race in the United States. The Democrat Party did, because he was such a disaster. By his second term, here's what you need to understand about Barack Obama. By his second term, he had lost approximately 7 million voters. Good thing for him, he ran against Mitt Romney, who refused to put up a fight in the second and third debates of the presidential campaign during that season. Or else I think Mitt Romney would have won. But people were so disenfranchised and disenchanted by Barack Obama by his second term. 7 million fewer voters approximately voted for Barack Obama. That's how whack of a president he is. And everybody knows it, not to mention that he was part of the Russia collusion hoax against Trump. He doesn't want all of that stuff to come out. This guy he's not campaigning for Kamala Harris for America's sake. He's campaigning for Kamala Harris for his own sake, for his own legacy's sake. He's a fake. He's a fraud, just like Kamala Harris. Black people and Americans in general, whites, Latinos, don't fall for it. Do not fall for this man. Do not fall for Kamala Harris simply because of the color of their skin. Barack Obama was a horrible president. If Kamala Harris gets in office, I will make this prediction right now. She will be the worst president in American history. And Joe Biden, I thought, was that one. I think she'll eclipse Joe Biden easily. This lady does not know what she's doing. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you go to get your podcast: Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. Pull a favor. And until next time, do not grow weary doing good. God bless you. Hey guys, Carl Jackson here for MyPillow. A large retail store just canceled a huge order, leaving MyPillow with a ton of extra MyPillows. But you know what? That's their loss and your gain. For the first time ever, you can get a standard classic MyPillow for wholesale prices. So it's just for $14.88, but it gets even better. For a limited time, they're offering their entire classic collection at wholesale prices. You can get queen size MyPillows for as low as $18.88. Upgrade to a king for just $1 more. You can get the body pillows for $29.88 and the multi-use MyPillows for just $9.88. Go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code Carl, C-A-R-L, I don't spell it like the communist, or call 800-858-0263 to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever. That is insane. On top of that, receive free shipping on orders that are over $75. They have never been offered this low before. There are limited quantities at this price. So the limit is 10 items per person. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-858-0263. Don't forget to use the promo code Carl to get the standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Again, the lowest price ever.